Hello, everyone. Welcome to season 9 of the Education Concierge Podcast. I am your host, Benita G, the Education Concierge, and I am excited today because today I have Dr. Felicia Young on with us. So you know what you do. You normally go grab something to drink because can't nobody see what's in your cup. That's your business. Go grab a pen, a pencil, something to write, get your tablet, take notes. We're always going to give you something that you need. I'm going to bring her in, let her introduce herself, but also we're going to do our regular introduction. So y'all get ready. TEC Family Season 9. Here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to TEC, the Education Concierge Podcast. We are excited to have you here. This is what we do. I am a good old country girl from Southside, Virginia, Lawrenceville, Virginia, to be exact, 804-757. I love y'all. And what we do in the country, as you know, when you come into the house, you're our guest. You're coming in to grab a plate. We can't let you fix that plate. So you come in, you take your shoes off at the door, and you're going to walk to the guest bathroom, wash your hands, because you better not wash your hands in my kitchen sink. Thank you. Come on to the table. We have a plate ready for you. And we have some good old cold, sweet iced tea, because unsweet tea is a blasphemy. We just don't believe in that. If you have diabetes, we go give you some water anyway. You don't need that. You just need some water with a lemon in it, okay? And now, after today's podcast, you are no longer a guest. So the next time you come, you have to fix your own plate. So welcome to the podcast. Tell us who you are, what you do, and how you got there. Why are you doing?
Well, thank you for having me on. Prefer lemonade instead of iced tea, and I like my lemonade homemade. So just to say that. And I don't like my food to touch because I'm a little bougie as I'm a little country as well.
We have those plates because that was our mama. We got you.
That's me. That's me. Right. I don't like that juice. Yeah. So, anywho, I am Dr. Felicia Young, owner of Higher Minds of Education, which is an education firm that helps students apply for FAFSA, find scholarships. We help students with all things college and career readiness. I got started in this business because I needed a job. So my very first job, and I needed insurance. So my very first job was as a financial aid counselor at a college. I worked there and built my business just from all of my knowledge that I've gained over the years. I can't believe it's almost been 18 years that I've been working in the industry of financial aid, but it is something that you either love or hate. And I absolutely love financial aid and I love my students. So thank you for having me on your platform to give my word and just help students.
Let me tell you something. Bless you. When I say bless you, because the financial aid department have the university, bless y'all. They probably still not working there. They probably retired.
Right.
Because they got to know my sister when she came through. She did her work study there. I did not qualify for work study. But I went on up to financial and said, hey, I'm a little sister.
Right.
Do you have any money? I need a job.
That's right.
Every day. I would go up there and take them snacks. I would take food. I don't care. Because you need to be friends with the people in financial aid.
You do, because that is where the money floweth from. Scholarships, information about scholarships, internships. And what made me become a financial aid counselor is I had the best financial aid counselor. Girl, I got on her nerves. I was always late. My paperwork was late. I found my stuff late. I mean, it was always a fiasco. And I always say, it is now my privilege and pleasure to help students who do not have it together, because that was me. So
I'm about to tell my age, but I'm going to tell it back in the 1900s.
Okay, me too. I was there in the 1900s.
The university gave me that little piece of paper. I don't know what it was, but I had to sign it. This was had your parents sign it. Dude, I went back. I'm calling mama. She said, girl, you'll go back to your dorm and sign it and wait an hour. And go back to it. She said, you know how you've been doing that signature since junior high. You right.
Then your mama, she said do it. Well, that is consent. So that is actually consent. So that's okay. I'm sure that it was.
They took it. After me, it's crazy. I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Just about. And so, but it was we joke and we laugh, but it is a serious situation, and understanding how to navigate any system. And you always need to have an advocate, and I appreciate you being that advocate. Now, let's roll into it. You told us why. Tell us the secret. No, the secret. Yeah, so what I want to know is, like, how, I don't even know, so many questions I have. Let me get my thoughts together. Okay. So I am coming as a mother
Okay.
And I'm like, look, I got this child that needs to go to school. And I haven't been to school since the 19th. Because that's what's happening now. My friends, it's time for the kids to go to school. And we were like, girl, that was in 1994. I don't know what
Things have definitely changed.
the name FAFSA, we know what that is. We don't even pronounce it right. Our group, we say FAFSA. And I'm like, I don't think that's right.
And no one knows what it stands for. Like, no one knows. They just know that it's FAFSA or whatever, however you say it. No one knows what the letters stand for. So let's say that it is the free application for federal student aid.
Come on, man. Nobody knew that. I'm going to type it in online on Google.
Right.
Free application. Student aid. Federal student aid. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So when you fill out this, and I love it. Y'all have workshops. You have the students that come in. You have the parents that come in. You also help students understand, am I independent? Am I dependent? You walk through parents. Do you need the plus loan? You don't need the plus loan. What does that even look like? Helping parents look at their taxes to understand, what does that look like? If you come from some of my nieces and nephews where you have co-parenting happening, who you going to use, go to school, all of that. And so you break it down. You break it down for us. And then I go, don't qualify for nothing.
So let's talk through the process. So I'm happy you brought all that up. Parents. Okay, so a lot of parents that I have encountered either have one, not done a FAFSA in a very, very long time, or never did one at all. Either they didn't go to school or they paid for it out of pocket. Their parents paid for it. So there's a lot of disconnection between what parents know and what students know, right? So parents know business and information. Students know process, right? So they know what we've told them. So they know what we've told them to do. So I find that sometimes we must have a listening ear as an adult, right? Because students sound as if they don't know what they're talking about, but they probably know just a little bit more than we give them credit for. And then for the students, they don't think that their parents know exactly what they're talking about, but they know. So students have to give them some grace as well, right? So putting those two things together, it works better to get everything done in a timely manner. Students know deadlines and websites. Parents know tax information, and then it has to be done on time. So a combination of those two things working together makes the process very easy. But we have a lot of parents who either believe they don't qualify for the Pell Grant information or any type of loans based on their financial situation. So we have to make sure that they understand that even though their students may not qualify for Pell Grant, there are other applications that require FAFSA. So here in Louisiana, FAFSA is the application for our TOPS program, which is a tuition-based program that helps students pay for their tuition in Louisiana state schools. So even though they may not qualify for anything related to any free money, but they will still always qualify for TOPS in some capacity. So just making sure that parents understand FAFSA covers an array of things, not just only to get free money. Some scholarships even ask parents to complete FAFSA so they can kind of see where their income level is if a student can qualify based on that information. So, FAFSA just has an array of uses that I don't think people really understand. And even for students who are not going to attend a four-year school, who maybe want to go to beauty and barber school, who may want to do something in the trades, FAFSA covers that as well. And so I say this over and over and over and over again, because I want students to fill it out with the anticipation of doing something with their life when they graduate, because they don't really understand that after summer, they're not special anymore. And now it's time to figure out what to do. So I want them to have, they're not special. They think, that's another time. But I want them to have a, so I have to encourage completion.
You're not special after the summer, baby.
You had a graduation party. Everybody gave you the money. We love you. We happy. We done poured it out summer. Okay, now it's August. Everybody else going to school. What you doing? What? You got no job?
We had the trunk party and everything.
Right. So now it's time to figure out what to do,
Right. I love that. And I did not know that. And I don't know whether maybe back in the day it was different, but I did not know you could use it for trade schools.
Yes.
and
Yes, it just
vocational.
depends on the program. So my advice is to reach out to the program, ask them if they accept FAFSA, because some programs that may be like 6-week programs, 8 week, like if you do a phlebotomy course or something, that's not covered because it's not long enough. But I mean, like if you do a beauty school and you want to go, there's financial aid to cover that. So and students don't realize that because they all want to, be Instagram famous or do makeup and nails, and that's fine and great. I don't have no issue with that. Go get the certification, but use FAFSA to help you pay for it, and then get a business degree, and then become a nail tech for Beyonce.
If you're a small business owner, you need to get a business degree. You
Right.
need to go. Go to community college. You can get your business degree there, and still work. Get your training. Finish everything because you need to be certified. Because you're not doing my nails. I look on the wall.
Right. Who
was this lady? That's not you. Okay, so I don't need you. I don't know. Where's your stuff? Okay, I don't care where you are, what nationality. Everybody name need to be 15 people. I need 15 people name on this wall.
Deals.
I didn't like it.
Right.
But I did it. Okay, so you come in, and your part of disruption, dismantling, and reimagining education is as they're entering that 11th and 12th grade. And you come in, and what I love is that you come in, and we call you a wraparound. You're one of the wraparound services that we would normally say is when we're getting ready to get you matriculated up out of here. This is where you need to go see Dr. Young. Dr. Young needs to say, okay, where are you going? What you doing? What's your plan? And that's what I love. You say you have to have a plan, and it's a no judgment plan because we're going to judge you if you don't have a plan.
Right. We need to get a plan. I don't care what the plan is. I just need you to have one.
Okay, if you I told the little girl, I said, baby, if you want to go to Chick-fil-A and work your way up, but it's still that's still a plan. Like you have to be like, I need to meet this target. I need to meet this target because I can own a Chick-fil-A in the next 3 years. That's fine.
Right.
That's huge.
So let me share a story with you that you said about having a plan. So I was having a conversation with seniors about what they wanted to do. So one young man raised his hand and said, I want to own a washateria and an apartment complex. And so everybody in the room started laughing. And I said, well, why are y'all laughing? He want to own a washateria. Ha, ha, ha. I said, do you know how much washaterias make?
They don't.
I said, what? Oh, he want to have an apartment complex. He's not going to school. I said, do you know how much rent is for an apartment? Like y'all need to start adding. What is going on? So then I made them actually like sit down and think about if 10 people came into a washateria in one day and did 5 loads of clothes, and we estimated how much $2 to wash, $3 to dry, and they had 3 or 4 loads. Like, can you count? And they were like, oh wow, that's a lot of money. Yeah, it's called having a plan. Can you add? Because I need y'all to just add money. That's right. That's what we get, a plan.
Where it's located? Are you near a university? Are you in a city where most of the time they don't have washer and dryer in the unit?
Exactly.
Yeah, and then the building, like you can start out with a duplex, then he can get the next one. Man, you end up with 16 units. Go to Jamaica. Sit down there.
Right. So that's what encouraging them to think outside the box does, and teaching them not to tease other people who are thinking outside of the box. Because in today's society, we want students to not only be educated formally, but we want them to also be thinkers. Because sometimes as educators, we teach them process. Like I said, we teach them what to do, 1, 2, 3, 4. But sometimes 4 may come before, and 1 may come after 6. And so we need to learn how to be okay with doing things in a non-traditional way that gets a student to a successful path, because that is what we want for them to grow up, pay their taxes, be a good person, take care of their kids, have a mortgage, and all of those things. Like we want them to be productive. So however we get there, that's what we need to do.
You done preached the whole sermon. We can end right now. Understand, like that's what education is.
Right.
We are producing citizens. And we come and like I told somebody that said, I don't like a dumb voter and I don't like a dumb citizen. Because that's where we're at now. But sorry, she was like, girl, I testify. So now we can still have 2 tracks. We can have that vocational technology. I call it, and I throw technology in there because you can do IT, you can do some things in technology where you do not need to do a 4-year program.
Correct.
I think I was listening to, I don't know what I was listening to the other day, and the man was saying that electricians,
Plumbers,
and he said truck drivers on this side. We already know doctors, nurses, lawyers, not lawyers, doctors, nurses, teachers. We got that.
right?
But he was electrician, plumbers, and there was one more thing. But I know those two, like you said, we're about to run out. Like when I say run out, like we don't have enough in training to replace the ones retiring.
Right. That's true. And I don't know how we got into this mind frame that one type of degree was better than another. But in America, we run off both systems. Like I said before, I live in Louisiana, so there's gas and oil in my state. And so as I drive down Airline Highway, there's Exxon plants and Shell and BSF, BASF, whatever the name of the plant is. These industries that they have to make sure that they have jobs that are capable for. So the 2-year colleges are in collaboration with those plants to get those workers in there, because you can be a student, go get a 2-year degree, come out, do P-Tech and make $65,000. The people who drive the barges down the Mississippi, the captains, they make $100,000. Do you know I drive? I could drive it on the. You know, no one knows that those jobs really exist because we're so focused on students doing a 4-year, putting a degree on their mama's wall. But as I explain to students, every certificate, diploma, degree is a piece of paper on somebody's wall. You make that become a career. No matter if it's a 2-year or a 4-year, you have to make a life out of it. So, I mean, one is not better than the other. They both hanging up on the wall.
I remember when I was in high school, you picked a track. Vocational track or college track. People had to fight to get into the vocational track. Like you were like, it was selected few.
Right.
And I remember they wouldn't let the females join in the oh God, Benita.
Like woodworking.
Welding. We get woodwork. They wouldn't let us say welding. And I'm in a part of Virginia where people would work in the shipyard all week and come home on the weekends. So they had like 2 vans you could take early Monday morning, and then they would stay down, and then you would come back because you worked at the shipyard. Great job, still a great job, part of the union. And the females were like, we want them jobs too.
Right.
Class, because like you said, we had collaborations with the community college. And when you finished, you had your license, and there were certain jobs that DEI, of course, always held jobs for us, but also because of where we were from, they held jobs. And those kind of jobs were like, I call them legacy jobs. Like my daddy worked there, my granddaddy worked there, my uncle worked there. It's like, shipyard. My uncles were longshoremen, all of their kids are longshoremen. So like legacy jobs. And so we grew up in an area where your daddy is on the logging company, you're going to get the logging company. It's going to get passed down. So you have to go, go ahead and get your business degree. Right. If your mama a beautician, one of her 3 daughters or one of the sons, one of them going to college because it's just passed down. It's like in your blood. And so I never grew up seeing that divide. But you're right. Somewhere in the educational system, we got sidetracked by you must have a degree and you must go to a university. And now, especially COVID exposed it. We didn't have truck drivers. They dropped the truck driving age. We didn't have this. We don't have this. We don't have the blue collar jobs that sustain the white collar jobs.
Right, because that's really what keeps us going. So, I mean, you think about if there's no one to fix your sink, or there's no one to fix your car, or your air conditioner, or anything, we need that. We cannot survive. How am I gonna do my work if I don't have no air conditioner?
Oh my God. Okay, so we're going. This is where we're going to get, because I have this thing up here called Controversial Corner. Okay? And you said something, I was like, let's unpack it. Let's talk about it. What's your perspective on it? Because what you said is, and my friends who are first generation immigrant children, yeah, I said that right. This is their thing. They're like, Benita, we can only be doctors and lawyers and architects and engineers. We cannot go into a career of what we feel we are best in or what we're passionate for. because that does not make any money. Tell me what you.
So here are my thoughts. So that's a cultural thing, right? So it'll take a long time to break down culture, stereotypes of what. Okay, so this, let me say this. So that's culturally. But my personal opinion about people pursuing passion is, if you can justify it to me that you can make yourself valuable, then I'm with it, right? So I don't know if you know the rapper Wiz Khalifa. I don't know if you know who Wiz is. Okay, so the story about him and his dad. His dad was like, I'm gonna give you a certain amount of time to become a successful rapper, because if not, my boy, you're going to school, because that's what we do in this family. We go to college, you know. And so he was able to obtain success because he knew he had a short amount of time to get it going. I mean, we as parents have the expectations of our children, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes we are not right. And that's very difficult to admit as a parent, because I have 2 kids who think they know everything, but you do not always know. And sometimes you may force the person, your child, to not be able to reach their full potential by limiting them with what you think is what's best. And I'll share a very quick story with you with one of the guys that I worked for a long time ago. So he owns a barbershop. So when I first started my business, I worked for him as a consultant, helping him pay his bills, do all types of stuff, right? So he always wanted to cut hair. So when he graduated from high school, his father said, you need to go get a job at the post office, because that's what people in their family did. They went and got jobs at the post office. Like you just said, it's a family tradition. So the boy said, I'm not doing that. So him and the daddy went back and forth. The daddy put him out, said, oh, son, you got to leave here because you want to cut hair. We're not doing no cutting hair. If I tell you that this young man is 35 years old, owns his own barbershop, owns the land that the barbershop sits on, has a garden that he sells fruits and vegetables out of. He has chickens that he sells the eggs. His brother, daddy, come there and get their haircut. The mama cooks food out in the back on Thursday, Friday. He is about to celebrate 10 years. He is a business owner of multiple businesses, speaks to other business owners, encouraged me to do all of my business. See, but if he had went to the post office, none of that would be possible. He's a husband. He's a father. He's a motivator. He helps kids. I mean, he does all of these things. He's certified by USDA for his garden. I mean, like, he cuts hair of chancellors and basketball coaches and bank presidents. I mean,
this is called, back in the day, you can get with this or you can get with that. But let me stop singing it. We like shadow bed. So we do a rapid quick fire. Since this is my podcast and people trying to tell me what the rules are, it's as rapid as we want it to go. Okay. I work with people in the education sector. We like to say both, and we like to explain.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah. We like to be like, for one scenario that works, Benita, for another scenario that won't work, and I'm going to say neither. And that's okay too, because it's my show, and it's my, like, why y'all trying to don't do that. Geminis don't like that. You're trying to tell us what to do. Don't do that.
Another podcast.
Traditional classroom or hybrid learning hub?
Hybrid.
Okay. Standardized tests or portfolios?
Folios.
Textbooks or TikTok tutorials?
I personally want to say textbooks, because reading is fundamental, but to get what they need for today's student, I say TikTok.
Okay. And it doesn't have to be on TikTok. It could be like TikTok Lite.
Okay, we'll do TikTok Lite.
That's what people say. I'm on TikTok, but I'm not on that dance.
Right.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, STEAM or STEM?
STEAM.
Do you like behavior charts or restorative circles?
Restorative.
Mentorship or coaching?
Mentorship.
Like global projects or local impact?
Global.
Just like global. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Nights. I'm nocturnal.
Okay. Do you prefer audiobooks or podcasts?
Neither. Real books. But go ahead.
Love that.
These are real books. I like a book and I want to see the words on the paper. Right. I want to touch the paper. I'm distracted. The audio book, I can't, then my mind wander off.
I need a highlighter.
Right. It's a lot going on. Yeah, real books.
Real books. Sweatpants and sneakers or blazers and loafers?
Sweatpants.
Sneakers. I need a good look. And my sister said, I don't have sweatpants. She's like, they're yoga pants. And I was like, what? She's like, yoga pants are tight and sweatpants supposed to be loose. I was like, really?
Right. I'm gonna go, yeah. That's right, sister. Yoga pants. That's right. I got my workout pants. I ain't working out. Right. I'm
walking around Trader Joe's. That's not a workout.
You say the restaurant to go eat my food.
And if it's a Saturday morning, that's a workout because you like this in Trader Joe's. I don't know. It's being a lot. Thank you for playing that. You did. I think you beat the record because you were like, the rest of the time they'd be like, girl, so you know, I'm starting to circle. She didn't explain it to me. I just said, do you want?
Right.
And then we get stuck. Sometimes we get stuck. Like, I told somebody, they were like, behavior chart. I said, I'm going to take you down. I don't care how many times you had my name on the board. And it was up there all the time. And it had all the checks behind it. And you called my mama. And my mama was first grade teacher. And you were like, Benita talk. And she was like, I know. Okay. Yeah. We're going to get you something. Okay. So we get ready to close up. Thank you so much. So these are the two things. One thing I need you to do first is give me a call to action, which means what should our listeners, and they are ours now because you're on here, what should they do now to reimagine, disrupt, or dismantle education the way you see it?
So, two things. As a person who has been working in the field of financial aid for almost 20 years, and I don't look like I'm that old, and I don't feel that old, but it's been that old. I'm that old. It's been that long. We are in a state of panic from pre-K 3 all the way through graduate school. Okay. In this country, and everyone needs to plan and prepare. So if I could not say anything else, I would say that for the last 4 years, there was a plan in action, and now it's in action, right? So now as parents and students, we need to put a plan together and start some action, right? Because there is nothing you can do but fight for your education and the right to have it, because education is a civil right. You deserve it. It is yours. Okay. So for students who are graduating, students who are in college, I advise you to complete your FAFSA, work on those GPAs, apply for scholarships, get internships, save your refund checks, because we do not know what we are entering. We are entering uncharted waters. And so I don't want anyone to be caught unprepared. So my call to action to them is to prepare for whatever is to come. And how do you prepare? Is by planning what you can plan. Of course, we know the world gonna be the world and life gonna life. There's this part of it, okay? But you do what you can as a parent. You do what you can as a student to ensure that you are in a position to move on to the next part of your life, no matter what is happening in the larger world around you. So that is my call to action for students, because we've become so accustomed to things being just given to us, right? Like it just seems like it's automatic. But as we see, it is not automatic. And so because we are experiencing that, now is the time to actually get in the flow and get it together. Like you have to, because I'm concerned, because I don't think anyone understands the seriousness of what is happening. And so we laugh, we joke, we play, there's a joke, the world is on fire and we learning boots on the ground. We doing a two-step, we dancing, but right, what them fans, right? So, I mean, it's like, but at the same time, that is great. But on the flip side of that, we do have to be aware and conscious of what is going on and how do we save ourselves and our children. That's mine.
Thank you. Look, I'm sitting here like, do I have a plan?
We need a plan.
I'm going back to get my master's.
We need a plan.
We need you to come do a master class.
But you can't. Okay, so you had another question. You told me you had something else.
This is the next question because it leads into that. How do we find you? How do we hire you? How do we come to your classes? How do I get you to come to the Links Young Group, the Omega Youth Group, the Kappa League, the AKA? I forgot what we call ours. Ain't that a mess? But all of us, like, how do you come to the church? Like, how do we say, Dr. Young, I got a group I've been working with since middle school. We're in 11th grade and we're ready, and the parents are panicking, and the kids are panicking, and I need you to come help us.
So what I have done, because I had to readjust how I do my business, because a lot of, and I don't want to run out of time, so I'm gonna be very quick. The way I originally my business was very in person, right? I traveled the state of Louisiana and I worked with individual schools, being my team, going in, doing FAFSAs one-on-one. But I know that because budgets are tightening and things are not going to be the way they were, because in Louisiana it was a graduation requirement, so there were funds being fueled into schools to help those students, but that's no longer the case in Louisiana. It's no longer a graduation requirement, so it has changed. So because of that, I created what is called a FAFSA helpline that, the information is going live, and so the actual product won't go live until end of July, early August, when school starts, where parents can buy a subscription or schools can get a subscription for their students that is specifically for their students, and they can call this 1-800 number, because we're going to do a 1-800 number that schools can pay for and have their students call, that get one-on-one help with people who are live, not AI, it's not a bot. We are live people to help you fill out your FAFSA correctly and to help you navigate what has been told to you by either your college, understanding your award letter, or to make sure that you're understanding like the process, because half of the Department of Education's workforce was cut. So who's going to answer the phone? There's no one to answer. So we have created a FAFSA helpline to help those students who need help. Okay, so that's how you can find me for some FAFSA assistance. Now, if you want me to come hang out, speak, laugh, kiki, do a 2-step, I travel. And I've actually been to Norfolk, Virginia, not too long ago. Last October, I came to do a presentation at a conference. So I do travel. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I do Facebook Lives, the website, Higher Minds of Education. You can Google us there. On the Instagram page specifically, my assistant posts scholarships all the time for students. Yes. So you can go on that page and you can find scholarships for any student. There to help them be able to get those money, because see, students don't like to, they don't see, I gotta turn to mama right quick, because see, students don't listen to me when I tell them, go get that $200 scholarship, get that $500 scholarship, because if you can add 2 + 2 + 2, you get a lot of 200, that's 1,000. Okay, everybody wants to focus on the large scholarships. Focus on those smaller scholarships, on the scholarships from your church, that's $200. Yes. Your mama job, from your uncle fraternity, that's $500. Those are the ones, and those are usually the scholarship dollars that you can put into your pocket to pay for books, to pay for things for your dorm, towels and baskets and those sorts of things. You have to think about it in a way that makes sense. So if you can't get the Bill and Melinda Gates for $20,000, but if you got $2,500, that can help put a dent in something that your parents can really still help you and it not be such a strain. Okay, I'm off my mama.
But it's $2,500 you didn't have before. What you talking about? You ain't got.
But they don't think that way. They get very frustrated because they're trying to compare themselves to what they see on TikTok and Instagram with people who got $20 million in scholarship offers and all that. Let's focus on your own lane. So if you go into the community college, apply for the community college scholarship. I know it wasn't but $1,000, but get that. And so you will have less money in loans. You will have, you have to think about this in a way that you get into the bag. Everybody talk about getting to the bag, but don't nobody want to get to the bag. That is how you do it. Well, I kind of got it, but they better try to get the scholarship dollars and put it in a bag.
He said, I'm trying to get to the bag. Look, let me tell you something. You need to be trying to get to the bank. The bank. And he's like, that's what it means. Didn't know. It doesn't know. But I'll tell people all the time, I said, I do not regret anything that has happened in my life. And it's been a pretty decent one, but it's been some stuff. Because you said life would be life. But I'll never forget, I was graduating from high school. Shout out to Brunswick Senior High. And Virginia had a program, which is very much like Teach for America, where it was like, if you go to school, any school, public or private in Virginia, and I was, we'll pay for your 4 years and you become a teacher. But I was a nursing major because I didn't want to be no teacher because teachers don't make no money. Went to Hampton, changed my major freshman year. And now that I think about it, I probably could have gone back and said, hey, is this still something I can apply for? They probably would have been like, girl, yes, come on. But I wasn't thinking. And I tell people, I said, that's the only, I still would have gone to Hampton, still would have done all those things. But if I could go back and be like, let me take this off the wall and apply and come out less debt, probably debt free, but definitely with less debt, that's the one thing I would change, but that's it. They were like, for real, that's it. That's all the other things that happened to mold me into who I am.
Now one thing we can tell them, the struggle gonna get you where you need to be. If we can just create less struggle, that'll definitely be a financial struggle, because that's what we focus on, the lessening the financial struggle.
And that's what we tell them, like, look, you don't need the whole, I know they offer you the $40,000 for the student loan. You don't need the whole $40,000. So what are you going, why you got all, and see, nobody said that to us. Now we have people like Dr. And I love how you said help, because even when I get this letter, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with this letter.
What does it mean?
What does it mean? With a full ride? And see, we forget that sometimes people think full ride. Yes. But when you get to the dorm, you got to decorate the dorm. You need to have some sheets and blankets and towels and laundry. Like, you have to have clothes and hangers, and that they don't give you that. And so that's the part where I love, where you come in and say, okay, here's this. But like you said, that $200, that $500, that trunk has to be filled up with stuff. Right. As you're going. And they even have scholarships for that, like scholarships to help you furnish your dorm room, or even apply for somebody else to come do your dorm room for free. But like you said, it's the little small things that add up to the big ones. Because I don't think I went after, I didn't go after them big scholarships. I was like, I'm going to get the church, and I'm going to get the Baptist Christian Association, and all of the D9, I'm applying to everybody D9. Like, I knew, like, we're going to get these little ones, and then we're going to get financial aid over here, and then we're going to go, because I knew how much Hampton was, and it's a private HBCU.
I understand. I went to Dillard, so I do understand. Thankfully understand.
And those $5 pieces got me and my roommate through. Taking Chanellos. Okay, so we're going to wrap up. The way we wrap up is this. Let me just do it. Hey, y'all. I'm a good old country girl, but I went to Little Shallow Baptist Church on Otterdam Road in Jarrett, Virginia. Do not play with me. Well, my pastor was Reverend Dr. Jacob Turner Jr., who has gone on to glory. Don't talk about this. Now, Dr. Young is our guest pastor. The doors of the church have been open. Dr. Young, the way we end our podcast is you give us words of encouragement for the rest of the week that we can hold on to, how we dismantle, disrupt, and reimagine education, but also just something that we can just carry on in life as we walk through these, like you said, these uncharted territory. And so that we have something to think about, so that we're not panicking in this process.
Okay. So my words are, remember to be true to who you are. Stand firm in what you believe in. Do not give up when it gets hard, because it is definitely going to get hard. But remember, it does not stay hard forever. It will not rain forever if you keep moving. The rain will end up being behind you, and the sunshine is ahead. So don't stop. And just wake up every day blessed, because you opened your eyes, and that is a gift. And never forget that. Dr. Young, signing out.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, this has been season 9 TEC podcast with Dr. Felicia Young. Look, if y'all didn't take notes, this is what I want you to do. Subscribe, support, watch it again. Go to her LinkedIn. Definitely go to her Instagram. Let's see, LinkedIn, connect with her, Instagram, follow, so that we can get the kids where they need to go. Old schools. I'm in graduate school, so I'm already following her. I see them scholarships. Don't play with me. And sometimes I'm like, I'm too old. No, I'm not. I'm applying and trying to see if you're going to take anything away today, you guys, you need a plan. You need a plan. All right. See y'all later. Thank you so much.